I once was asked on a date in-game how I unconsciously went on a date. It all started, I was doing my gates because I love going to the gold saucer and do my gates every 20 minutes. That's my life. Suddenly, I get approached by someone saying that I had a good outfit. The bunny, the gold saucer bunny. So randomly, I get this this message saying, like, asking me how I'm doing and blah blah blah, you know, like the typical stuff, like, oh, what are you up to? So I was like, oh, it's all good and blah blah blah. And they started saying, oh, a friend of mine asked me to go to a place, but I don't have a date. Not a date, like someone to go to. It didn't really say date. And so I was like, oh, what is this place like? I like visiting cafes. I mainly like to see like the decorations and stuff, right? So they asked me if I wanted to go. I was like, I mean, sure, whatever. This is like in the first 10 minutes. They were like, oh, we're hanging out in Discord, by the way. Would you like to join? VC, specifically. I was like, oh, I'm not really like confident into speaking in VC to someone I just met 10 minutes ago. I didn't say this. I just said I'm not very confident in VC. So they asked me like 3 times if I wanted to join VC. And I kept saying no, like I can't, like even if I had all the excuses, who cares? I still joined the Discord, like they were like, oh yeah, just join, like to see. Never added me on Discord, by the way. I just was invited into this Discord with his friends. We went to this cafe place. It looked pretty cute, it was pretty big. It was a maid cafe. They were unconsciously putting me off by saying things like, oh, I'm gonna go on a smoke break. Will you join VC so that I can still hear you while I'm not in front of the PC? I was like, bro, no. Smokers, absolutely not. We went to this place. We had to completely change data center, and we got there, and there was this other friend that started asking me just like stuff like, what do you do? What's your language? Yeah, it's just like a little chat. And then there's this friend said that she was high, so she apologized for not being there all the time. Now you see, I could image this in real life. Me being absolutely fucking awkward with this guy that is trying to chat with me and a too high friend that is not saying anything. I could picture myself in it, and I was so glad it was in game. So what happened is that this friend left. So it was just the 2 of us. And here things got bad. He was asking me like, what would be my ideal date? If he could call it a date. He asked me if we could roleplay a date. And me, at my best, all I could say was like, what do you mean like roleplay a date? Like I would just talk whatever, you know? He called me a princess once. And then at some point he said that 2 other friends were coming. There I was like, oh my god, we're not gonna be alone, thank god. When the 2 friends arrived, he presented me as his date. Okay. Now these 2 people probably played the game a little bit more. He would write in brackets as if that was his thoughts in the party chat. So he presented me, and then in brackets he put, I think I love her, for everyone to see. This is like maybe half an hour after we met, by the way. The friends asked him where he met me, and he was like, oh, at the gold saucer. And they were like, of course you met her at the gold saucer. Just like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Just because my me Koto girl looked so much attention seeking, I guess. Like I did the bait. My alt was the bait, the most beautiful bait. No, exactly what's the inner monologue. Amazing. 10 to 15 minutes later in this date, oh, you know, I was like, I need to go. I can't handle talking to this person. But the thing is, I actually have to go. So I was like, oh, sorry, I have to go to a place. And I did. Like, I went back to my server. And I just went to the little concert. And after the concert, I went back to Limsa. And I found the first friend I made on the alt. And I was like, I need to tell you what just happened. So I told him about the date, and he was like, maybe you're the seducer. And I'm like, what do I do? I'm just standing there. I mean, yeah, this character is a bait, but I'm not like calling for it. I was telling him in game, so I was just emoting. I was sweeping the floor. At some point, the guy I was on a date with appeared behind us. So he was staring at me. No, not like directly. He wasn't clicking me, but he was facing my direction while I was talking to my friend. And I was like, oh my god, he's looking at us. It's absolutely hilarious. Crazy stories. The one that lasted the longest, I got called a girl with a bun boy basement. I mean, that it looked like I had a harem.